January the 5th, 2025. As you're looking at highway images, this is the exit going into Bowling Green, Kentucky. And you've got your main interstate headed north, and then right here, this one crosses going east to west. I think, is it 485? Guys, I can't remember. But this is what you're going to be dealing with. It's starting to build up snow, ice, things like that. But this is where the ice storm is going to be kind of centered when all of this is said and done. But it's already starting to set in. Now, it's amazing that in January 1st that we're having tornadoes, even in the 60-degree range. Right now in central Mississippi, we are at 61 degrees. That's warm enough when you're dealing with temperatures right behind it, like you're seeing now, to possibly create very violent storms. I'm hoping if we have them, we've already had one down in Arkansas, that they will be short-lived because the cool air is going to be coming in very quickly. I don't know that yet. That would be the best case scenario if we get into the tornado situation. And if we go a little further north, Topeka, Kansas, guys, you're going to have all of this, plus you're under blizzard watch. But right now I see no traffic. This is Topeka at I-70 at the Gage, McVicker, exit 358. 20 minutes ago, I guess it's going to, I don't know how long it takes, maybe 30 minutes on some of these if they're working properly. But anyway, it gives you a very good idea. Again, this is the Topeka Gage MP, I-70 at the Gage, McVicker exit. Nobody's on the highway. It needs to stay that way. They may have all of this shut down, as all of this is coming across from the central part of the nation all the way to the East Coast in a fairly wide band. We're going to take a look at that. Now, this is the nation, and it's pretty colorful right now. You've got winter storm watches and warnings out everywhere. You've got freeze warnings out, blizzard warnings in the bright orange here. See that? You can just come down here and click on it, or click on the area you're in, and it will tell you. Now, something very interesting is happening here. Right here, you're dealing with storm warnings, ice storm warnings, and along the coast of Texas and South Louisiana here, you've got freeze warnings, guys. Check that out. And why do you think, well, you've got this warmer air where we've got the storms coming along here. It's just in this section, but we've got an engine of pressure rotating right here that's going to move over in the next, today, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It will be here. And as it moves east to west, this thing's going to be allowing this cold air to push in. Right now, this area has got warm air, not that warm, but much warmer than what we're seeing up north, pulling in off the Gulf of Mexico. And this is the collision area, and this is going to be moving over. All of the browns, guys, you can color code this. It will have something to do with wind, lake wind, high wind, red flag warnings like that. Your light blues and stuff, you're dealing with freeze zones through this area. And all of this is offshore gale warnings and things like that. But guys, right now, this is going to, again, I hate to say it, but a week or 2 weeks to remember in this beginning of 2025. And I'll show you on this wind speed map and temperature map what I'm talking about. Guys, this is NOAA wind. Most of the links that you have seen so far, except the weather cams, are on our website at bpearthwatch.com. But right here, we're looking at the current situation. Very cold up into Canada and to the Arctic. But right now, let me pull this up. Again, this is wind plus temperatures, and the orange is the warmest, and then as it gets into the blues, out of the greens, you're getting into colder, and then when you get up into this temperatures, you're really getting cold. But you notice this spin setting right there, guys. So what that's doing is pushing cold air this way into this front. That's where we're seeing the tornado warnings in Arkansas, and all of that's going to move east. Very cold air behind it. And here's that moisture I was telling you about pulling in off the Gulf of Mexico. Now let's go ahead 6 hours at a time. Now watch, see the center now is here over the Memphis, Tennessee, somewhere north of there, right here. Now you still got moist air pulling in here, and here's the collision zone over central Mississippi right there. But the cooler air is pushing further into Texas and pushing down. We're just going to go forward. We're still on the 5th. This is later today. Now, this is the 6th. Look at the big change. That's tomorrow. Here's our center of the pressure. All of this now is cold air all the way through Mississippi. Here's Mobile Bay. Here's Panama City. You're still getting some of the warm air, but that's where any of the tornado activity will be along that front. Now let's go forward. This is later on tomorrow afternoon. The center is way over here. Check this out, almost off the East Coast. So what does that do? All the warm air is just into Florida. Florida, you're going to be lucky, but eventually this collision may impact you. But right now, cold air is just dumping all the way out into the Gulf. Just going back, you saw all of this warm air there. That's about to be gone. We're going to just go forward here. This is the 6th. Later in the day, going into the 7th. Look at that. Everything warm is pushed out. The United States is very, very frigid, even over into California, New Mexico, and Arizona, and parts of Mexico right now are going to be much cooler. But this is exactly what's happening, is this section of that front, which is now going to be starting to move offshore. You see that line right there? We're just going to be bitter cold. Over 10 days that I looked at, the nights will not be above freezing. Now let's back out and look at the actual satellite visible images right now. This is colder air pushing in, but this is much colder right here. This is delivering some moisture. Here's where you're seeing your high clouds, and this is where we saw the tornado along this line in the last video along southwest Arkansas. So this is going to be coming into Shreveport, guys, crossing 20, going into Mississippi, into Jackson, and into our area very soon. But again, this is that engine setting right there that's going to move across here in the next few days. One side's warm, very wet, and that's right there. The other side's very cold. That's just a natural-born formula for these tornadoes. And again, January is not that well known. I've seen them before, but usually by November, you're kind of getting out of that. But we're just having such a weird transition of the climate on our planet because of the shifting and things like that. Again, of our tropical convergence zone where the hurricanes form. And we're seeing these giant waves come in all along the west coast of North America and South America. And there's talking about undersea plates shifting, and that, guys, are very high waves, kind of records around the world right now. You've got a volcano over in Africa that's already starting to bubble up. It's not a high mountain, but it is a volcanic area, and they've already evacuated about 80,000 people. The earth is changing and shifting. We were told about this. Right now, guys, you've got to prepare to survive the next 2 weeks. Now, as we look at the infrared, again, you can see right where the engine is, I'm saying, of this system, more air being pulled in, and it's pulling this moisture in. It's creating the ice storm you're seeing, the snow you're seeing. All of it's tied to that. And the Great Lakes, guys, looks like you've got a little better lake effect snow coming off Michigan here than you did, but it still looks like a lot. And they're talking about across the lakes here up to 4 feet of snow before it's said and done in the next couple of days. Here's that front that's offshore, and it, in its sense, is a motor much bigger than the one we're looking, and that's pulling everything to the east and upward, is this one right there. Now, this is today here in central Mississippi. High today is supposed to get up to 70 with thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, damaging winds again, just like we had. But look at tonight, 28. What a drastic change. That's where the violence comes in of the tornadoes, and then you got to deal with the temperatures. Hope and pray that our Father in heaven keeps these tornadoes away from the crowded areas, away from everybody. Father, we've had enough this season. Please lift up some of these storms and keep them away from the people. The people in the damaged areas of the mountains because of Hurricane Helene, they sure don't need it, guys. But if you go to AccuWeather, go in there and type in your location, city or zip code, or somewhere close to you, and you will see what we're about to go through. Now, let's take a look at the next 10 days here, this far south. Now, tomorrow, the high, 40. low 26. See that, guys? But your percentage of precipitation is 0. That's a good thing. So right now, if you haven't got wet firewood, cover it up or get some up on your porch or in your carport or wherever you need to get it to keep it dry, because more than likely this is going to knock out power. Now tomorrow, 45, but the low 25, mostly sunny and chilly, still 0% chance of rain. Scroll down, Wednesday, again, this is central Mississippi, 46 for the high, 23 for the low, 1% chance, probably be clouding up a little bit. But guys, this is going to be bitter. Now Thursday, 43, low 27, 0% chance. Now here's what starts to change next Friday. We may get snow. Look at this. High of 39, low of 28, 35% chance of precipitation on that day. Now we're still far out. That's 5 days out, but this is what they're saying. Again, 28 low Saturday, 43, 27. Rain is out of the area. Look at that. But that's very cold temperatures, and people are going to be dealing with power outages, busted water pipes, livestock issues, things like that. Keep your pets warm. Make sure you check on the elderly. Let's go on into a week from today, Sunday. 50 and 29, just a 1% chance of humidity. Now, 50 sounds good after those, but we're still not above freezing at night. So your pipes, now let's just go on. We're going to go 10 days, 53 and 31 on the 13th, next Monday. Now, 50 on Tuesday on the 14th, 29 low still. Very little chance, of precipitation here. 1% next Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, 55, start to see some sun. 33, no rain. Thursday, 57, 39. First night since the 5th, this is the 16th, that we'll be above freezing in central Mississippi. And so that's, now let's move to Gatlinburg. Now, let's take a look at Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Current conditions are ice, possible 45 degrees, low tonight 43, 100% chance of rain or precipitation, a mixture. You got high wind warnings. They're saying bitterly cold air will continue to plague the central and eastern states over the course of the upcoming week, possibly 2 weeks. Now, you got high wind warnings out in Gatlinburg, special weather statements. Just go to AccuWeather, type in your area. Real field is 36, but it's saying 45. So again, 43 for the low tonight, 49 to high tomorrow. Then you've got a mixture here of precipitation, 89% with 22 for the low. High wind warnings persist. See that? Now the rain is going to end on Tuesday, 37 and 16, getting colder. Wednesday, 36. With the low of 14, still not much moisture involved. Winds at 5. Thursday, just kind of looking at the outlook, 38 to 25. For the low, no precipitation. Next Friday on the 10th, 34 with a mixture of snow, rain, 28, 69% chance of humidity. So this is just going a little further north. Now, guys, it's not a whole lot of difference except that your daytime temperatures are going to be colder than it is here, but the night temps, guys, are going to be very similar all through this area. It's just going to depend on if you got electricity, get your firewood, guys. If you can find one of those Mr. Heater or Mr. Buddy heaters at Walmart or Home Depot somewhere, get your hands on them. They run on the little green canisters. Get you a case of those. They also will run from a 5-gallon propane tank if you buy the hose that adapts that tank with your Mr. Buddy, probably hanging on the rack beside it. Many of you already have them. I have a couple of them here. We have a wood burner, and we're trying to prepare. Make sure that in these cold nights, regardless of where you're at, especially in the South where we're not quite used to it, fill up your bathtubs and things. You'll have some extra water in case your pipes freeze, and that will allow you to either boil it or flush your commodes, things like that with it. Check on your pets, get extra water, get extra food. But look up in Kentucky, guys, the highways are basically shut down. That's why you have to prepare early. If you're down here in the South, and even though it's cloudy and overcast like it is now, light sprinkles And you can just tell when you step outside that wind is starting to change and the temperature is dropping. But get out while you can. Fill up your vehicles. Make sure you got everything you need. Get some extra candles, whatever it is, food, water, something, because it's going to be hard to get out for the next few days. And a lot of places may not have power. We still have power crews working here from the tornado last week. So we're not back to 100%. And let's just take a look, before I end the video, over at our U.S. outage map. Now, this is what we have. It's not going to go to yellow till you're above 10,000 plus outage, and then 50,000 orange, 100,000 on the red. So Texas, you've got, depending on you've got 12,372 people out. I hope we don't see a repeat of that ice storm, guys. Now, if you get up in here to Missouri, you got 20,000 customers out. Here in Mississippi, it's below 10,000, but we still have 222 people out. Like I said, they've done a lot of work. Coastal Electric came up here with Southern Pine, and I think some other crews came in from maybe North Mississippi, maybe even Alabama, but they worked their butts off. And at least the weather cleared up somewhat and stayed warm in this area after the tornadoes cleared out. So we had some time to clean up. It was muddy, but we weren't getting rained on, and it wasn't that freezing. But look for all of this to change, and you can click on the state, and it will break it down into the counties for you. The most you'd see, this is Coke County, you got 286. Up here was Coldrew. This is Wheeler County, 329. All of this is going to change over the next few days. And guys, you've got what, ERCOT Energy there? And to me, from just the reports, they don't seem very trustworthy in the sense that they're looking at more, I guess any company does, but in this sense, there should be a law against looking at profits over protecting the people. You saw what happened in the last ice storm there. Hey, Smokey, here's one of my huskies wanting me to rub his head. Hey, what you doing, boy? You hear him breathing heavy. They've been playing out on the back deck since it's been raining. It's not this moment, but at least they're not in the mud. Hey, what is it, Smokey? What? What is it? You think it's going to get cold? Well, you're the last one that should worry about that with all that husky fur you got on you. He's up in my lap at the desk, guys. He wants me to rub him and pet him and everything else. He's a big baby, but he's one of the sweet ones. I'm going to get out of here right now. They're trying to argue over here who gets in the chair. All right, Booger, y'all behave. Now, guys, take this very seriously. I didn't mean to end it on that light note, but it is very serious. I'm taking it very serious, and I'm very concerned about it. It's a heads up. Be safe.